Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
It's time to play everyone's favorite Follow the Money game. Live from the VSiN studios.
Hey, guys. You ready to let the dogs out?
This is door number 1.
New high score!
What does high score mean? New high score. Is that bad? What's that mean? Did I break it?
Or door number 2.
Get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Here's Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard.
All right, we're live in Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. Pauly, there were some rumblings last night. LeBron, the Knicks might be a thing. And then Rich Paul came out, the whiteboard. There was like an asterisk that basically said there would be no whiteboard if the Knicks did not win the championship. He would be going there. He was about 22-1 last night. Now he's 45-1 to go to the Knicks. Door 1, take that bet, or LeBron James to retire 30-1. Which would you rather actually cash?
His ego's that big? He's that much of a narcissist that he's...
I guess, yeah.
Come on. You still get a lot of credit again, though, if you repeat. Because we've had 8 different
so
champions.
He would rather go to New York and be the reason why they won the title.
Right,
and
yeah. I mean, come on with the ego. Unbelievable. I'd rather have door 1. I think door 1 would be better. And you just saw the television ratings and Knicks mania, and they end the drought. But I still think him on that team, final year, film it, whatever, put it on Netflix. That'd be an excellent way to go out. Ben Stiller's doing the documentary on this past season. So I don't want him to retire. I just wish that they could have worked this out with the Lakers. But
well, I'll give you this. So prediction markets, I'm looking at Kalshi right now. They have Philadelphia as his next team at 14%. There is a national book that moved the Sixers to a $2 favorite to get him.
I just think that's a terrible fit. And I think it makes all the sense at the Cleveland. Just because you go back home, you retire a Cav. They went to the conference finals, and they have a good roster, and you can put them over the top.
But to your point, what would you rather do? Take your chances with a dinged-up Embiid or go play with James Harden?
Sure, I know. There's some negatives there.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I'm sick of the Denver talk. I mean, they lost in the first round to a Minnesota team with a lot of injuries.
Oh.
Stop with they're this close. I mean, and it's also on the management as well. Door 1, the Atlantic Division to win the title, or door 2, you get OKC and the Spurs.
Man, so I get the defending champs, I get the 76ers, I get Toronto.
Yeah.
You can have Boston, but that's part of the deal. Or I can have San Antonio and Oklahoma City. Oh boy.
I like the Tobias Harris acquisition. He did play well in the playoffs.
I'd rather look. I mean, based on what happened last year, I'd rather have him on the court in clutch time than De'Aaron Fox.
Oh yeah.
I would actually lean Spurs Thunder here. I think power rating wise, they're still the 2 best teams in the NBA.
All right.
Going into the season, but it's very close. How about an amendment to this? The Atlantic Division to win the East, or the Spurs Thunder to win the West? Would you
door 2.
You would tell door 2. Okay.
Oh, big time door 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So in light of what's going on with the Jaylen Brown and the ego as well, door 1, would you rather be the smartest guy in the room, or door 2, the guy who acts dumb but is secretly smart?
Oh, give me the dummy all day long. I don't want the guy who's telling me whenever he opens his mouth that how big of a super genius he is. That's completely obnoxious.
That blew up in the whole other direction. I can't believe people didn't understand that. That's a reflection on his ego. It's
right, that's not enjoyable to be around.
Right. It's not race at all.
It isn't.
It's so disappointing with people. It's like, this is easy to figure out.
I would rather be like the stoner type who is Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting.
Mm-hmm.
It's hidden, and nobody knows, and yet there you are in the corner all by your own, and you're like Einstein.
Right. What did I text you last night? You'd rather be the guy who flashes it and people know he's rich, or the guy who no one knows that he's low?
Oh, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Quiet, under the table.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, for sure.
Door 1, Hugo Gonzalez moving forward. They wouldn't include him in a trade for Giannis. He better be a Michael Jordan. Or door 2, Mitch Johnson. They just hired Billy Donovan as an assistant.
I know.
And he left the Bulls. This is like you're on the clock, Mitch Johnson.
This is a good question. Good conversation here. Because can't we agree, like, Mitch Johnson was, we thought anyway, leading into the finals, doing a pretty damn good job with San Antonio.
Right.
Then I think kind of his youth and inexperience as a head coach showed in the finals, and they blew those leads in all 5 games, and I thought he was partially responsible, and he kept admitting that now we're going to go back to De'Aaron Fox. Well, he's like your worst player. You don't have to play the guy at that moment. So I want to give Mitch Johnson another chance. I mean, Hugo's going to have to prove it to me, again, like starting immediately. And look, it's going to...
4 points a game. I mean,
I don't want to sit here and tell you that the guy can't play because it's been such a small sample size. I'd lean Mitch Johnson, but talk to me like in December. Do you think this is a no-brainer?
I'd rather be door 2.
You'd rather... Yeah, okay.
Yes. The pressure on Hugo now is crazy.
Well, there is a small chance here that he comes out and he's going to average 9 points and 8 rebounds and be a pretty good guy off the bench.
Yeah.
Hustle guy. Isn't that the guy Bob Ryan loved when he came onto this last year at some point?
So,
he played one game when they had a bunch of injuries and he was great.
I'd like to run it back with Bob. Because when you were out, we had him on. He said, I put my trust in Brad Stevens.
I know.
I don't know how he thinks now.
Door number 1, USA versus Mexico in the World Cup title game, which is a possibility, or Bills versus Lions in the Super Bowl. That'd be door number 2.
I got to go door 2.
Ooh.
Door 2, yes. It's still soccer. It's still shenanigans. I'm still got a bad taste in my mouth with the Bosnia.
It's Team USA.
The door 2. No
door
way.
2?
Door 2, absolutely.
I got a very strong...
The world would end.
I got a very strong comment to make on door 1. And we can ask Derek Stevens about this next week if both teams are still alive. I think USA-Mexico playing in the final would be the biggest event in the history of Las Vegas.
What?
Yes.
You just hosted a Super Bowl.
I think it'd be bigger.
Oh, come on.
I think it'd be bigger. I think it'd be the biggest. And I think some people would actually agree with that comment.
I don't think so. Door 2 would be insanity. That would be absolute insanity, and we've been close.
I think you're sleeping on door 1 a little bit here.
Sleeping.
The field at 4-1 to win Nathan's hot dog eating contest against Joey Chestnut, or Chestnut breaks his own personal record, 76 dogs at 3-1.
I got to go door 2 all day. Door 2, just an incredible athlete, all-time great. It's like Wembanyama. There's no ceiling. I believe anything this guy can accomplish, and I'm there for all of it. He could do it and hit 80. He's just so much better than the field, and it would just take something catastrophic for me not to win.
Right, like he's going to lose at some point, but we have to see the gap.
We lapsed the field. No one's even close.
That's what I'm saying. Like we need to see at some point, and maybe that's in 5 years, 10 years. I don't know when it is. Who knows what the shelf life is on professional leaders, like being at their peak. But we have to see the gap where he's only winning by like 8 hot dogs. Okay, now the field might actually win. I would actually say that betting 3-1, he could pop for 78. Like you said, he might hit 80 on a good day. He might have that in him. God bless the rest of the field. They have no chance. That's a free spot on Crossport Parlays. The books will let you do that.
Yes. Door 1. No more VAR. Door 2, no more stoppage time.
Okay, so does that mean that we have to know the exact amount of time that's left? Or just get rid of it altogether and go straight to PKs after?
Any direction you want. Both. Either one.
Well, if you're going to have the stoppage time, you got to tell us. It's like yesterday in the Portugal-Croatia match.
It's outrageous.
What are we? This is amateur hour.
I know. I was so pissed if I lost that.
Oh.
I had Portugal to qualify with the under. It's like, it says 10 minutes. We're at 12 now.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Remember that happened in the Algeria-Austria match.
That's another one,
And I needed that actually to come through, but it's 90 plus 4, and the equalizer to make it 3 apiece happened in the 97th minute.
Yeah. It's door 1 all day.
Yeah, VAR sucks.
Can you imagine what the moments we would have if we didn't have this, and what this would be all-time World Cup, and it's not even close. Nothing could touch it. The Croatia finish, what happened with the USA match, what's happening, Iran's walk-off, Colombia. They're taking away from iconic you're never going to forget moments for all these countries if we didn't have this stupid thing. It's not like, and it's put in to correct egregious mistakes.
Yeah, and you can't slow it down. It says it right there in the front, but they always do that. I would also suggest this. They might want to steal this idea from the NFL. You know how they can slow that down? Like, is Mahomes past the line of scrimmage when he throws it? Well, we have known now for years, like, his whole body has to be past the line of scrimmage, right, including, like, the ball. There always was, like, that question of, like, well, where is he actually? Because if part of his body's on the line, is that actually forward? No, we now know. If you're offsides in soccer, like, your whole body should have to be offsides. Now it's coming down to whether or not the guy's hair got in the way and touched the ball.
Toenail.
This is idiotic.
But I know. Absolutely.
And it's almost turning into
sports.
Yeah. So now when I question every goal that's scored.
Yeah, you have to wait.
You have to wonder.
Yep. That's why we were nervous about what was going on in hockey. Like, it was getting out of control in hockey where someone scores and, wait a second, offsides, and 5 minutes later. If you're betting at Circa for unlimited time, you can fund your wagers and contest entries with crypto using BurraPay, and you pay no BurraPay transaction fees, fast, secure. Another way Circa continues to innovate for sports bettors. Visit BurraPay.com to learn more. Fee-free crypto wagering before August 31st. BurraPay transaction fees waived as part of the campaign. Standard cryptocurrency network and exchange fees may apply. Before August 31st, do it exclusively here at Circa Resort and Casino and the Circa Sportsbook.
Major League Baseball coming up next. One writer said this player would be the MVP under a scenario, and it would not be close. He's not talking about Shohei Ohtani.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So Major League Baseball here, one game in progress. Cardinals on top of the Cubs 6-0. You brought up Bush earlier.
Base hit.
7 for 7 all-time against the starter today for the Cardinals?
Yes.
And PCA just doubled as well, so they do have a guy on second. That would be him. And speaking of that guy, let me give you this. Brantford Doolittle does a great job covering baseball for ESPN. He wrote about awards today, and he asked the question, what if MVP awards were just for position players? And he talks about the Cy Young is only for pitchers. So what if that would mean two distinct groups of league players competing for two different awards with no overlap? He points out that pitchers have won the MVP award several times, even though those winners did not have Shohei Ohtani's built-in advantage of being a premier hitter and a premier pitcher. He said the reason that he brings it up is because of PCA, who was fresh off of his unbelievable June. Only Garrick and Ruth accomplished what he did. That propelled him into the best position player, AX, in the majors. AX is another metric to describe how great these players really are. So he writes, let's say pitchers were ineligible for the MVP, a hypothetical, not a pitch for a policy change. He writes that Crow Armstrong and other National League standouts are at a disadvantage in the MVP race because it takes overwhelming production for anyone to outproduce Ohtani's combined output as an elite hitter and an elite full-time starting pitcher. In this hypothetical, where Ohtani's pitching production does not count for MVP, Ohtani would rank 6th in the NL MVP race as a DH and 5th overall in the Cy Young race. Unfathomably impressive, but he would not be the front runner in either race. Instead, Crow Armstrong would be the player to beat in the NL MVP chase, and it wouldn't, at the moment, be that close. So that's how good of a year PCA is having, but again, speaks to the improbability of actually overcoming Ohtani to win that award. I bet PCA today to hit a home run. He flied out his first at bat, doubled the second one. That was my only bet. I didn't do total bases. But again, the winds were blowing out before the storm stopped, I guess, in Chicago, and that kind of cooled things down.
The obvious stuff has been there 4 days in a row. It's incredible. Bet the obvious stuff in baseball, it's been winning. Pirates Nationals today. Second and third in runs scored. Total 9.5. It's a hold your nose play, but also you have to do it on principle. Guess who the Yankees are playing? It's Cole against the Twins.
Right.
You have incredible numbers how bad it's been during the 7-game losing streak. But since 2002, the Yankees are 127 wins out of 173 games against the Twins. It's a 119 win pace for a full season.
Pretty good.
They knocked them out of the playoffs in 03, 04, 09, 2010, 17, and 19. Cole, Yankees, run line, got to do it. Also with the Pirates over. And it's bad right now, I know. Can't hit, sloppy defense, but it's total ownage like we've never seen going back, how they've owned this team since 2002. Keep in mind, those also were playoff teams with the Twins.
Okay, so I think maybe the day off yesterday for the Yankees could be like the turning point or a reason to tail what you're talking about here and thinking that this dry spell that they're in could go the other way. Here's how bad it's been again. They're 0-11-1 first 5 last 12 games.
Ooh.
Katie Sharp is an awesome follow on X. During the 7-game losing streak, 17 runs scored, 17 unearned runs allowed. Teams in the last 100 years to have a 7-game stretch to do that with 7 losses. The Yankees and the 1989 Tigers.
Huh.
The Yankees have, this is going back, they've allowed 23 unearned runs in their last 12 games. That's the most unearned runs in any 12-game span since 1989. And to go back one more day, MLB teams since at least 1898 to have a 5-game span with 0 wins, 45 plus strikeouts, and 16 or fewer hits. The 2026 Yankees, end of list.
Oh,
that's how bad it's been.
Come on, get it together.
But,
Tampa's going to run away and hide.
That's
the
you might
other
be right
thing.
with that, yeah.
Yep, like them as well. 8-game winning streak. During the streak, starters are 6-0 with a 1-4-2. They've only allowed 15 runs. It's Martinez going today. Arrigetti's been awful. Also, Walker career 500 against Martinez.
Well, and this is, so in the modern era, only one Major League Baseball team has had an 8-game span with a 550 slugging and a 0.75 or lower whip. That's the Rays right now.
Mercy.
So they're getting it done everywhere.
That's right.
They're
Another
a
one.
good team.
Yep.
Yep.
I also got, if they beat me, they beat me. Webb and the Giants. They're 60-20 against Colorado since 2021. Webb just had a 0.71 ERA in 5 starts in June, going against Feltner.
NL Pitcher of the Month.
Colorado, most runs allowed, no surprise. Giants seem cheap as well.
Yeah, but by the way, I must point out, Webb, his career at Coors, he's made 11 starts. I got to say, this is like Hall of Fame good for 11 starts at Coors, a 4.21 ERA.
Well, the big thing is the home runs allowed.
He's only allowed 4
Yeah, I'm shocked by
at
that.
Coors.
Yeah.
That's amazing to get away with that. And I have the Giants most win. This is part of the reason why. And knock on wood, I hope he's super sharp again tonight in that game.
Angels 6-1 last 7. Game started by Detmers. He personally is 2-0 with a 2.41. Dodgers, a big price, rightfully so. How about the Padres? What is going on?
6-0 before he could blink. And
They lose again, long losing streak, right? They get run out, and King is 1-5 in his last 7 with an ERA of almost 6. The Reds have lost 9 of the last 10 games started by Singer. He's 1-6 with an ERA of 5 during that stretch, with 14 home runs allowed. And who are the A's playing? What do I've got notes. Okay. The A's are playing the Marlins, and the Marlins have been hot, especially what they're doing offensively. That total might be too low. Again, they're second in runs allowed.
10.5 up in Sacramento.
Yep, but in home games, they're giving up almost 7 runs a game going back.
Well, they took a hit on their offense anyway. Rooker's going to be out for the year now. So they've had some injuries here, which is no good. I will give you this. Again, I would bookmark the vsin.com page with Opta AI projections, part of the handicap every single day. Dylan Cease goes for the Mariners tonight. Cease grades out as the second best under bet for a K prop on the board. Think about this. Now, he has one of the best K rates in all of baseball. 9+ tonight is plus 119. Opta AI makes that number higher than 5.5 to 1. Their projection is 5.99 Ks. So a big edge to the under. They love Luke Raley The Opta AI projections have loved him all year long. 1+ hit, run, RBI -116. They actually make the number -430. They love Colt Emerson. 1+ hit, run, RBI -130. They made it -376. So Cease is the second best bet for under his K-prop tonight. The number one best bet for a K-prop under is Shohei Ohtani. 7+ is -139. They make it +329. Their projection is 4.97 Ks. So a huge edge per their numbers to going under his K-prop tonight. I did add a future bet to win the American League Cy Young. The guy was brilliant yet again last night. Now, he's missed quite a bit of time this year, but he's been awesome since coming back. In fact, he doesn't even qualify. That's how much time he's missed. But he had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning last night. Bunch of strikeouts again. And we got an email from Chris last night during the game. Bryce Miller is still 150 or 100-1 to win the American League Cy Young. Probably not after last night. Short on innings. Maybe he can make it up. Currently has a 1.71 ERA. That would lead the league by almost 0.4 runs. His xERA is a half a run better than everybody else in the American League. 7th in FIP, 3rd in xFIP. If he didn't miss any time at the beginning of the year and he pitched like this, his numbers would project to nearly leading the league in WAR on top of it. And he's also 7th in Ks per 9. I think after Schlittler, this thing is completely wide open. Mm-hmm. And this kid has been razor sharp, striking out a ton of guys. I got to tip my cap to Will Hill, who texted me a couple of weeks back, and I put a little bit on him then. I added much more last night on him at 100-1 to win the American League Cy Young. So there's that, and I'm also going back to the Nationals and the Pirates tonight. I took the Nationals team total over 2.5 in the first 5 innings.
Oh, good. I like that.
Wood, Garcia, and Abrams have good numbers against tonight's pitcher, Keller.
Right. And the Nats are 13-4 when Griffin starts. One of the top pitchers' ROI. $30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season with 3 Circa Sports contests. Circa Million, $1,000. Circa Survivor, pick one winner each week. And the Grandissimo for the high rollers. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. CircaSports.com for details. Get there now. Buy the schedules, big and small. CircaSports.com for details. How about our friends at the World Series of Poker? Sean Deeb, a bracelet. Mizrachi, another bracelet. Main event's already started.
David Baker?
I don't think so. Negreanu, another bracelet. Be great to get Sean Deeb in and Mizrachi. We're working on Mizrachi as well.
Sure. Mizrachi last year, straight to the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
That's how good that run was that he put on. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Chad Andrus on the program coming up next. Longtime Denver radio guy. Will the Nuggets do anything of note in the offseason, or are they not even a consideration in future markets? We'll ask him coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Fun Friday, fun week, great summer. Live in Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. Talk some NBA here. We go out to the Progressive guest line. Chad Andrus, awesome on the sport. 104.3 The Fan in Denver and denversports.com as well. Joined us on the Progressive guest line. What's shaking, man? Thanks for the time today.
Yeah, happy to join you fellas. It's an interesting week, always with free agency. It's not quite like it used to be with, DeAndre Jordan getting locked in a hotel room or Kevin Durant in the Hamptons, but yeah. It's still fun nonetheless.
Well, we can get into the idea of maybe Denver landing LeBron if that's a possibility, but I'll start here. One of your tweets the other day pointed out that Denver has one clear, reasonable solution to wiggle out of the jam they've created for themselves and create a viable act for Joker. Just do it. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I think, kind of what I just alluded to, that the free agency of the past is dead and gone. And I think too many of us as fans, as media members, people who cover the sport, have hung on to this idea of pairing stars together or big threes or how they have to approach it and signing guys in free agency. And that is not the league in the new CBA. It's just not what it is. Teams are much more conscious on the money they're spending and particularly the length of the contracts they're taking on. So It's a very different approach than what we've been conditioned to think about, pairing stars together. So the teams are approaching it much differently and being very cautious with their spending. So when I said that, the one clear approach, because let's face it, Denver has painted themselves into a corner. They have no good outs. There are zero good options to improve their team next season for Joker. They don't exist because they don't have assets, they don't have picks. The best way, in my opinion, for them to take a smallest step back with the opportunity to take steps forward is they have to turn Jamal Murray and his $50 million plus salary coming up for 3 years into 2 or 3 different playable guys in the playoffs. Like, that was the move to make. And I was thinking along those lines when I tweeted that if they could facilitate Jaylen Brown to Portland and get Drew Holiday and Scoot Henderson and another playable body back, that is your path to start to clear your books, get cap space, get flexibility back, and have more guys in your rotation to play. It would have been a move like that is their only clear path that allows them to see a future way out of what they're stuck. But they didn't do that. And by all accounts, in negotiating with the Celtics, Denver shut down all inquiries about Jamal Murray. So it doesn't look they're inclined to do that in any deal.
Great perspective. But this is also so frustrating when they're not making a move. You could waste an all-time great talent, and you hear about second apron and all this and owners being cheap. Kroenke is worth $26 billion. He owns the Nuggets, the Avalanche, Arsenal, the Rams. He has 60 million square feet of commercial property. Go into the second. What's going on with this guy?
So here's where I'll disagree and I'll push back on that, Paul. So you're asking him to spend double the cost of his team that just was not even competitive in the first round against a team that was injured. So you're not only asking him to pay another $200 million on top of the normal cost of the team, you're asking him to do it for a team that isn't competitive and has no shot. And by doing that, going into the second apron, you're then committing to that group with no flexibility and no options. The second apron removes all of your flexibility to make deals, to sign players. You can't do anything. So what you're asking when people are saying do that, it's not about paying a tax in the second apron. It's about the options it removes. You're stuck committing to that. And if you do it with the current roster, if you run it back and commit to that, you're doing it with guys that lost in 6 games against a team without Anthony Edwards and Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
So why would you do that? Why would you ask anybody to do that? I don't care if you have $1 trillion. That is dumb. That's dumb. Like, if you want to do it for a team that you are confident can compete for a championship, fine. But this ain't that team.
Well, I'm with you with the trades, no doubt, and get off those bad contracts, and Gordon can't stay healthy. It also was more of an indictment of the last few years as well. So what's going to happen? What happens with Watson? Explain your tweet with the Lakers involved and some other moves that could be made here.
So I said it earlier today because of what got reported when the Lakers traded DeAndre Ayton, and then some of the following reports that came out saying they would now look at several guys as a backup center, including Jonas Valanciunas, who the Nuggets have not released and stretched yet. And they are also looking for a defensive wing. Mark Stein reported that. Well, when Valanciunas' name is floated, the Nuggets have hung on when they don't have a reason to because he's not going to play here, and no movement has been made on Peyton Watson yet. What fits the need of a defensive wing and a backup center when you floated Jonas' name? It's Peyton Watson and Jonas Valanciunas. So is there a sign-and-trade possibility on the table with the Lakers and the Nuggets where Peyton Watson goes to L.A. and Jonas Valanciunas is attached to that and the Nuggets get off of that deal? And in return, you're getting Dalton Connect and, I don't know, does that make LeBron a real possibility in Denver if something like that happens? Like, Peyton Watson started this summer by putting an Instagram post out of him standing in the gym talking to, I believe it was Rich Paul, because he's a Clutch client, and there was a graphic with a little escalating graph on it, and it was captioned, Summer of Separation. That picture was taken in the Lakers practice facility.
Okay.
Great insight.
Not great here, obviously, what's going on there. And think back. I mean, they won the title 3 years ago. We all thought, okay, this is going to be the norm for this team. We're talking to Chad Andrus, 104.3 The Fan in Denver, denversports.com. And now I have zero desire to bet on them. Like I don't want to bet on them to win the division, not to win the West, none of that stuff. Is there any chance that they could salvage this? Like, could they get LeBron? He's 3% to go there, like in prediction markets.
look, it's fun for us to talk about. It's fun to entertain. If something like this that I just mentioned comes into play and that does become realistic, but let's think about this logically, okay? LeBron says he wants to have fun. He doesn't really have any close friends on this team. He says he wants to compete for championships, and if you're looking at it from a basketball standpoint, and you love the NBA because of basketball, not because of free agent rumors and trades and the drip they wear to the games and, who they're dating and all the other stuff that surrounds the NBA, LeBron and Jokic together would blow people's minds.
Oh, sure.
It would be achieving, Valhalla of basketball, playing at the highest level imaginable. And the people that love basketball, it would be amazing for. But do we think for 1 second that LeBron, on a farewell tour season, documenting it for a TV show, wants to come to Denver and do that and play for David Adelman for a year? And do you think he wants to go to a place, one that he hasn't been before, and it puts in serious jeopardy his track record of, I've won a chip at all 4 places I've been. If I go to a new 5th place and I don't win, does that ding my resume?
That eliminates a lot of teams, too. I think Philly's
Correct.
out. Philly's out, yep.
You and essentially eliminates Golden State, right? I'm still not ruling Golden State out because of his experience in the Olympics with Kerr and Steph, his ability to go play golf with Steph, his friendship with Draymond. Like his family's not going to move out of L.A.
Yep.
He's up in the Bay Area. I'm hesitant to eliminate Golden State from the equation, but their starting lineup was not listed on the whiteboard today from the Rich Paul picture. It was only Steph and Dre mentioned up in the corner. It wasn't in the 5 other teams.
Yeah. But also, if I go to Cleveland, I got to play with James Harden.
Yeah, that's the one bugaboo that I see, right? You can't say, I want to play serious basketball and compete for championships and then turn around and say, yeah, I'm signing up to play with James Harden.
Yes.
Could he force him to trade Harden? But then
I don't think he can when he just opted out and is renegotiating.
Mm-hmm. You would also need a dance partner there, and how many teams are willing to say at this point, yeah, we'll trade for James Harden to make you happy?
Right, exactly.
So what did you make of Brown going to Philadelphia? Where would you put the 76ers in the pecking order of the Eastern Conference?
They definitely have a shot, right? They would be right up there. Philadelphia is interesting. I think, they've caught some breaks along the way, been fortunate in what they got out of the Celtics. And, they're in a really, really good situation. It's hard for me to imagine LeBron choosing Philly in that fan base and the pressure he would be under immediately to win it in 1 year.
Amen.
Yeah.
Miami?
Yeah. They're just not going to have enough. Right.
Okay.
It's intriguing, right, with the talent and, the defense he would have around him. And, he wouldn't have to carry, much of a load on that end of the floor. And Giannis and him together is intriguing. But, like, are they really a contending team, even if it's LeBron and Giannis and Bam?
I hate the fit. I don't like that there.
Hate it, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Chad, you man the grill on the 4th?
I am not this year. So no. We are up at the in-laws and hanging out with the grandparents and all of that stuff. I'm known to man the grill every now and then, but I am off duty this year, so I am open season to put everything on the plate and pile it high.
Yeah, good. That sounds like a great plan. Enjoy it, man. Happy 4th. Thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, boys. Have a great weekend.
Excellent.
Back at you. Be good. There you go. Chad Andrus. Follow him on X. Last name is spelled Andrus.
How's your grill game?
Good, but Lorraine won't let me.
Mm-hmm.
She just takes over.
Okay.
So
That's
I would
fine.
like to. I like grilling out with, have a couple beers, whatever. Next World Cup match, starting top of the hour. Defending champs, Argentina. Dominant to date. We'll ask longtime soccer bettor Bruce Marshall how he's attacking this match from a betting perspective coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up in 15 minutes, today's second match in the World Cup, Argentina, huge favorites against Cape Verde. And to talk about it, get some best bets, not only on that match, but others. We go out to the progressive guest line, longtime soccer bettor, longtime friend of the show, does a great job as a sports handicapper, Wager Talk, and he joins us as well, Bruce Marshall on the program. Good to talk to you again, Bruce. How are you today?
Hey, guys, pretty good. Enjoying all this real football action here.
Yeah. Is it by the this is not your favorite sport, is it? You still like college basketball more, or soccer like really up there?
Yeah, it's up there because I used to have that European Soccer Weekly publication we did for several years. So it depends the time of year. I mean, in the fall, it'll be college football and the NFL. Then in the winter, it'll be college hoops. But if there's nothing else going on, I love soccer. So, yeah, it's great.
Very good. Well, okay, so with Lionel Messi's team here being such a huge favorite in this match, what is your betting approach?
Argentina, Cape Verde. Cape Verde will drop back into the lowest of low blocks in this match and just dare Argentina to come at them. I could see Argentina with 80% possession in this match. But Cape Verde has always been better than people give them credit for. This is a veteran side that have been campaigning, the similar team the last couple of cycles through in CIF African qualifying. Just missed a couple times. This year they're in. They had 3 draws in the first round. Bosnia, the goalie, the 40-year-old, now a social media star, 2 clean sheets, but it was mostly his defense. They kept Spain completely flustered in that first game. They're going to try to do the exact same thing here. And for a while, they may succeed. I think Messi's magic eventually breaks Cape Verde down. The one unsung thing about Argentina is they are so well structured defensively. They are really hard to break down. And since I hardly see Cape Verde going forward, much less actually scoring from possessions here, I don't think they're going to get on the board. So it's just a matter of how much can Argentina score. Will they score enough to win? Yeah. To cover the spread, I'm not sure. To stay under 2.5 goals, that's the way I'd probably look here. I could see a 2-0 Argentina and them being very satisfied with that, but it being kind of hard going for them. This team, I'm telling you, Cape Verde will just invite it back, just like they did against Spain, and dare Argentina to beat them. This is going to be a little more tense than people think.
So we'll also have drastically different betting lines. You're telling me that they'll have a tougher time tonight than they will with Egypt?
I think so. Yeah, I watched Egypt here today. And Australia had chances in that match, and Egypt had some too. But and Mo Salah, looked like he's kind of coming around some here, but he didn't have the greatest year at Liverpool. Now he's not there anymore. Marmoush has yet to score in the World Cup. I haven't been overly impressed by Egypt except the second half of the New Zealand match. And they'll play a little bit more of an open game than Cape Verde will. And I think Argentina will get Egypt pretty good. And that's right. But Cape Verde will be tougher to break down because they'll just play it completely different. Egypt will not play Argentina the way Cape Verde is going to play them. And I think that in the Egypt match for Argentina, assuming they get by today, and I'm sure they will, it'll be much easier for them. So I'm already looking at Argentina to not have much trouble. This is actually a pretty good path through to the quarterfinal for Argentina. You get Cape Verde and then Egypt. I mean, this is about as good a path as you could get. They'll get there, but it might be a little hairy today. We'll see.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. By the way, their path. What about tonight? Colombia, Ghana could be a war. Have you bet this one yet?
Yeah, I like Colombia here. Now it's you got to lay a bigger price on the 3-way, so I might look at the spread. I actually might look at the over here, although Colombia hasn't been scoring a lot of goals, but man, they've been electric. It's just the ball hasn't gone in the net. They got a lot of chances. They should have beaten Portugal. They have got 2 scorers who are 2 of the better scorers in Europe this year. Now, Luis Diaz at Bayern Munich, 26 goals for Bayern Munich this season, 7 in the Champions League. It wasn't just Harry Kane for Bayern Munich; it was Diaz too. And Luis Suarez, the new Luis Suarez, Sporting Lisbon, 33 goals this season. 5 of those came in the Champions League. He hasn't scored yet in the World Cup, but man, he's had chances. He's come so close. This team, I talked to people around the soccer world, and some people think Colombia, they wouldn't be shocked if Colombia got all the way to the final. They've looked that good. Ghana will, again, another low block team here with Carlos Queiroz, the coach. That's what he does. That's what he did to England. But they did spring some leaks against Croatia. That's a tough way to win a World Cup, just to sit back on defense. They'll try to go forward. Semenyo from Man City was one of the best players in the EPL the second half of the season. But Ghana is missing Mohamed Kudus from Tottenham. He's sort of their midfield pilot. He's been out since January. He got hurt for Spurs middle of the season, and a leg injury. Didn't even get to be on the World Cup squad, so they're lacking some bite. But they're going to have to play. They're going to have to come out and play tonight because Colombia is going to come after them. I think Colombia wins maybe on the spread, probably over 2.5 goals. I don't know. The prices aren't that appealing here, but I could see Colombia stretching this out to 3-1, something like that. So they're a team to watch. I'd be scared of Colombia.
Co-sign on all that. 44 shots against Congo and Portugal. This is interesting. Maybe Sunday night they might move the game up. But you think England's better than Mexico, but how much does that home field matter that they've won 10 in a row at Azteca?
Yeah, that is big. And I think they have moved this game up 6 hours, I think. So I want to say, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, I think. So it's going to be, they are moving it up, I think, because they're worried about the weather. England's a better team than Mexico. And I don't think Mexico, away from the Azteca or Guadalajara, is much more than an average team. They become supermen at home. The altitude obviously is there. But if England can withstand the first 15 or 20 minutes and try to conserve some energy there, but these are still well-conditioned guys. I know it's going to be tough for them there, but they have got so much more quality than Mexico. The thing I'm a little worried about is Jordan Pickford has looked a little unsteady in goal.
Yes.
And he could be under some siege here. But eventually, England also hasn't really played a team except Croatia, and that's when they look best, that really has want to let them play. I mean, these other teams have been just trying to slow the game down and just go low block on them. And Ghana did that. Panama did it. Congo did it. Mexico's going to try to play with them, and that's going to work to England's favor. And I think how Tuchel uses his bench will be very important here. I think England's going to win, and they are sort of the betting favorite here. They get a plus price, but they are still the betting favorite. And I get a little plus price with England to win. I'm going to just go with the better team and not worry so much about the altitude. I think England wins this one.
All right, fair enough. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Bruce Marshall, Wager Talk, and he's on the Progressive Guest Line. Couple minutes left here, Bruce. Then what about Monday night? Monday Night Football, so to speak, up in Seattle as Team USA will get Belgium. What do you make of the number here?
Yeah, this is going to be tough. It's like I pick them across the board here. I was listening to Brad Friedel on Gary Lineker's podcast the other night. Friedel used to be the U.S. goalkeeper. He played in England for many years. He expressed some concerns about this matchup. And when these teams played back in March in Atlanta, that's when I started to worry some about the U.S. Now, not everybody was there in that game. A lot of the U.S. guys were, but Adams and Richards weren't. And Belgium was without some guys, too. Lukaku didn't play. Trossard didn't play. Courtois didn't play in goal. They were just walking through the U.S. defense in the second half, literally walking through them. They scored 5 straight goals, and that's when I thought Pochettino just doesn't have this team playing the way I think they should play, the way Bruce Arena did in 2002, when U.S. really was very hard to play through and attacked only on the counter, just tough defense. This side is, but, Pochettino's coaching his talent out. He's got a lot more attacking options than Arena had, so they got to sort of play on the front foot. But, and Friedel was saying this last night, Belgium's got enough pace if now that Doku is back active again, and Luka Bacchio, they can bother the U.S. with their pace, and that can negate the pace that U.S. has somewhat. You won't see Matt Turner also was in goal in that game in March. He will not be there. It'll be Freeze. Belgium, though, has not looked good except for spurts in this tournament. So I don't think the U.S. is out of it. But they're going to be it's going to be a tough spot. I haven't determined how I'm going to play this one yet. But this is the first really dangerous sort of offense that the U.S. has played. The schedule's broken very well for the U.S., except the Turkey match, though. I know that they played a reserve side. But so did Turkey most of that game, and Turkey moved pretty easily through U.S.'s defense. I think this is where U.S. is eventually going to fall because of the defense. It might be on Monday night. We'll see.
Very good. Bruce, that was awesome. Thank you so much for the time. Happy July 4th. Best of luck tonight and this weekend.
Happy 4th to you guys. Thank you.
There you go. Bruce Marshall. I'm on a bet, by the way. This game's going to start by the time we get back for the next hour. I am on under 2.5 cards, minus 125. That's an official bet for me.
Okay. Argentina's covered the 1.5, 8 of the last 9. Clean sheet, 8 of the last 10.
I'm looking at a parlay, too, that Luke did, and
yeah,
plus 105 on the match we'll get into coming up. And Doug Kazarian, best bets in the WNBA next.